Greetings yet again. Welcome to Business Chronicles. It's another episode of Business Chronicles. My name is Solomon Tumwesigye and I'm at Studio 84. Studio 84 is a podcast studio set up here along Luthuli Avenue in Bugolobi, Kampala. And it's a space set up to, facilitate individuals and organizations tell their stories and along the way position themselves as authorities at what they do, because we believe everyone has a story to tell and everyone is an authority at something. Today, I am privileged to host a lady who does a business in an industry that was hardly existent maybe 15, 20 years ago. But here she is, and I can almost bet. Anyway, I'll not spoil it. I'll let her introduce herself. This, I have to warn you, this episode is highly unpredictable because I don't know which direction this conversation will take. May God be with me. Sharon, welcome to Business Chronicles and Studio 84.
Thank you so much, Solo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for having me at Studio 84. We are very, very excited. I was here, an hour ago? Just to make you look bad. Yes, I was here
That's not part of your intro.
Whether you edit this or not, I've said it. Yes, thank you so much. My name is Musiime Sharon. Friends of mine keep on telling me, say Sharon Musiime. So which one is the right one?
I prefer Sharon Musiime.
Oh, perfect.
But I think our government and some of the schools we went to preferred it the other way. That's why, for example, when you go to a government office or police or whatever, they insist on taking your last name first. So Musiime Sharon.
Yeah, it explains. I went to a government school,
Not
a private one.
You're a patriotic Ugandan.
Clear. You got that right. Yes, my name is Sharon Musiime. Yes, I run a cleaning company.
Yeah.
Cleaning company is called Freshly Kleen. We are all about spaces. So Freshly Kleen is a cleaning company that provides quality, reliable, and sustainable cleaning solutions that later translate into healthy living spaces. Yes. So that is what we do. And we are very passionate about creating such spaces and maintaining and creating such spaces. Yes.
Your explanation or description of Freshly Kleen has so much English in it. I know that it was not always like that.
Yes.
Sharon, when you were a child and your parents asked you, or your aunties or teachers asked you what you want to be when you grow.
I can see where you're going.
How low on the list was owning a cleaning company?
First and foremost, I think I also see it in children lately. As they grow, they tend to take different paths.
Yes.
Depending on either it is something that they are watching lately.
Yes.
Because there's a time I think lately my kids were watching something. It was like a show where you're given ingredients and you cook. Then all of a sudden she wants to be a chef.
Yes.
And maybe 3 months ago she was telling me she wants to be a teacher because she loves this particular teacher. So I realized that as they grow, they tend to change or shift depending on what they're excited about at that particular time.
Yeah.
Then going back to me, when I grew up, I wasn't very bubbly as people think I am. I think I grew into it. But I used to stand by my word.
Yeah.
Yes. So at first I wanted to be a lawyer. And everyone around me would go like, Sharon will defend you. Worry not. Let's call Sharon. She was there. Believe you me, even if I wasn't there,
I think you would have made a good lawyer.
So at some point, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
Then I think at some particular point, I wanted to be an air hostess. The uniforms looking nice. Then the flying, you're all over the place. Then just know it was my dream job.
I think you're a very self-aware child.
Thank you. Yes. And because I love everything nice. Yes. So I looked at it as one of those. jobs that I would flourish into. You have to put on a very nice uniform.
Yeah.
You know how they present themselves.
Yes.
Everything is put
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Looks like just being.
Like a makeup is scripted.
That was so me from back in the day. So when you're asking, I think at some point I really wanted to be a lawyer. And then later, I just went into the air hosting thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to talk about it. We'd look at, back in the day, there were much of the magazines that had the air hostess. And you would like pluck it out and put it by the wall.
Exactly.
Solo, you're not a Gen Z.
What?
Neither am I.
What are kids these days sticking on the wall?
I have no idea.
You remember the was it Sunday Vision or those magazines that came then?
Then you have to cut out that Beyonce's, then you stick it onto the wall. Oh, then when your friends come home, you're showing them your
exactly.
wall of fame. Yes, childhood was so interesting, and for me, vividly, it is those two that I really, really, really felt like I would flourish into. And later, like life took a twist, and
Okay. Clearly it did because from air hostess to lawyer. So did you then study law, or your legal lawyer dream did not even get that far?
No, because remember, after that lawyer thing, went into air hosting.
Yes.
And of course, life happened. You know how us that are not Gen Zs, our parents wanted us to go a particular direction that we probably didn't. I did adult and community education and rehabilitation, but that's way later because I did business administration as well. Yeah, because I was just clearly looking at something that was more versatile. Yeah, in terms of career guidance. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
I I also noticed that many of the people who grew up in the times we grew up studied courses that were dictated by how well they performed in certain subjects and not necessarily what they really wanted to do. For example, I did well in both sciences and arts at O level, but I did well in history, geography, then did well in math, physics, and so on. A typical A-level combination could have given me a Heg D or something like that. But
you're talking about my combination. So while you're going to answer that, while you're going to ask that question, Kilari, we already have the answer. I wasn't into that science, but
did we even have career people?
Man, we used to have people come to give us career guidance, and of course they were telling us how you can be whatever you want to be. And then you also have now the pressure from home because probably one of your cousin is a doctor, and then your father probably and mother look at them as the golden child.
I know.
Then for you, every day you're being asked why you cannot do sciences. Of course, now our parents had that coward of what do they eat that you don't have? You know?
I know. Yes.
Why aren't you like them?
I know.
So somewhere I feel like they lost us somewhere there. So that's why at some point you find someone will say, I gave my father the degree that he wanted.
And I went and did my own thing.
And even so many people that we see as entrepreneurs, you'll be very surprised when you meet them. I mean, not so many people know the one-to-ones, but when we meet them and talk to them, you realize that their career path was something totally different from where they are and what they're doing. Because there are those that were really, you can tell that from back in the day, they were built to be entrepreneurs. Yeah. And there's some that you can tell that, they cannot.
They fell into it.
Clearly.
Sharon, most people who sit in that chair, and I guess that's the point I'm trying to drive home, that most people who sat in that chair are doing nothing absolutely related to stuff they studied or stuff they ever dreamed of when they were growing up, which now begs the question, how did you end up in this cleaning business?
Doing business administration, then later, then it will go back now to my story. Now, my story began when I left campus. I thought I was very fortunate to land a good job at the bank.
Yes.
By then. So I worked with KCB Bank. And for me, leaving campus, And I think being around home like for 6 months or so and getting a job at the bank, I didn't take it any lightly because it was a white collar job. And those that know me, I was like, putting on the suits, showing up, like, say less.
I know.
I'll show up. So
It's the
it was.
closest thing to being an air hostess.
You get it. You get it. So honestly, I felt like I had arrived.
Yes.
I was really excited.
I know.
But then the pressures that came with banking, and I don't think I thrive in an environment where I'm going to do something routinely.
Yeah.
So the routine of a bank drained me. That's the truth. The routine of the bank drained me. I felt like every day I didn't belong there. But of course, because you need the paycheck.
Yeah.
So you drag yourself to work every day. Even on that one good day, like, I call in sick.
Yes.
No, you'll still show up. So later, I got an opportunity to go to South Sudan. I've been to South Sudan. So going to South Sudan was me pushing myself of, can I do it? I remember my mom asking me, your mates are going to Canada. Like, who bewitched you to go to South Sudan?
To South Sudan.
It's a war zone. For crying out loud, it was 2209.
Yeah.
So while it was in the thick of it,
Yes.
in terms of insecurities, yeah. So going to South Sudan, it was an organization that I worked for. And because I'm a people person, and I always felt like I thrived with people, any day, anytime I would be a humanitarian. And I feel like it's my calling because I'm a people person. I like to be around people. I want to take those questionnaires, understand why are people like this? What do they think? How do they feel? Is there something that we can do to help? So while I was in South Sudan, I had, it was a very beautiful organization. We had a very good grant. Then with that organization, I had a very good supervisor that actually helped me build my career. Yeah, in working like a humanitarian person. So later, when I left Sudan, it pushed me to do an organization-based course that I did in Chambogo. That is adult education under was it rehabilitation?
Yes.
So immediately after that, I did my internship with FHI 360 of Lamu, and later I stayed. So now that I felt like every day, because I was in the field meeting people, doing what I love to do, I felt like my cup was full.
Yes.
Now that is the career I felt like, yes, now here I can flourish. While I was still flourishing, life again happens. And there I'm growing up. Family comes in. I am married. I have a set of twins. So for you to be able to have such a job that doesn't allow you to sit in office, you're always in the field, and now you have a very young family.
It's tying you down.
Yes, it's tying you down. So you ask yourself and you're like, okay, so where's the balance? And balance is very key for any family that is just starting up.
Yeah.
And my husband travels quite a lot. So my mom used to be like on speed dial. I'm in Ginger. I'm in Bali. Then she's on speed dial. You're trying to check. And with the maids that are not reliable lately, you're always in and out. One leg is at work. The other leg is home. So, of course, your productivity levels, your KPIs, you're not hitting your KPIs.
Yeah.
So it was quite hectic. As much as I really wanted to balance, it was really hard. So I sat down. Let me tell you, Solo, we need transition coaches. Very important. Right now, I would have paid any amount of money for someone to tell me,
settle you in well.
This is what you can do. I quit over 3 times while going back to work. I was like, jeez, how do we do it? That, like the feeling of waking up in the morning, and because you're used to a 7 to 5, then the thought of you're going to sit home, then think about what you're going to do. Then I understood it was a process. It wasn't going to be at a snap of a finger. Excuse me. So it was really hard. And I needed someone to help me understand where I was going. So I remember my husband kept on calling me. He's like, I'm like, not this month.
I know.
It's like, so what happened? Yes. What's the plan? I was just scared of starting. I was just scared of quitting. Well, how am I going to do it? The fear of the unknown. So finally, of course, I threw in the towel. I was like, okay, this is it. If others are doing it, I can do it. I am a very big gaslighter of myself. Yeah, I was like, we can do it. Let's go. So I quit. Now, that transition bit when you tell the people around you that I'm done with employment, now switching to an entrepreneur, let's go to China, buy bags. I have a very good sense of style.
I know.
Let's run a salon. My sister is doing it. We can do it. Oh my, it was so confusing because everyone was in my ears. Of course, they meant well, but they were confusing me the more. And I owe it to one good friend. Back to my personality, why cleaning? I had always had a terrible OCD of how I want things to look like, how I would even visit my friends and they're like, Sharon, you're a visitor. Stop telling us where the chairs should face. Don't tell us about how, but then I had that. I loved things very organized. Yeah, at some point, I had maids that were supposed to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Then my house needed to have a cleaning plan. Then how they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes my mom would go like, with this, you're going to chase away all your maids because it's too much. This kind of system doesn't work for these maids who clearly don't understand barely much. Yeah, but it was because of how I was wired. Then there's a time my mom came home. I just had my son. My son was like about 1 year and a half, and that's the time they're so playful. And because of the lover of good things that I am, I had pots everywhere, mirrors, what? My mom was like, wait, you've just given, this is a boy. And this home is going to be their sanctuary. So it is either you're going to think about your son or the material that you have at home. Then, of course, the maid would be calling you. John has broken the glass. Then I would be the kind of person, I come back late, I am so tired and I'm fixing my living room because I can't sleep when it looks like that.
Yes.
So, of course, I had that organized, like I need the space that is organized. There's a time I had problem with lines. When I look at that chair and it's not arranged, we shall be having a conversation, but for me, I'm thinking about that chair is not arranged. Then I color coordinate. People know me for color coordinating. It has to be what you told me in the morning.
Yeah.
When you just form in the car, so it's like, do you have to have the pinks all over the place? Oh dear, let's get away from that one. So I mean,
I'm stuck there.
let me know when you're about to leave. Yeah. So yeah, that was who I was. I should say I was, because children will tame you, marriage will tame you.
Yeah.
Because this person you're going to live your life with is not your brother, not your cousin. They come from a totally different culture, different setting. Their beliefs are quite different. Their personality, their character. So it was a win-win, the 50-50 balance. Yeah, which I think tamed my OCD. Though it's still there a little bit. I remember there's a BNI member that I visited for a one-to-one. You know how they renovate a very old space and they paint inside, and around the switch
there's some sticking paint somewhere.
It's brown. Of cream to brown.
They didn't
and the
reach
paint
there
is white.
properly.
No, of course they can't paint a switch. So we're having a one-to-one and we are seated, and it's a very engaging story, and all of a sudden this person asks me, Sharon, is there a problem? I'm like, yes. So he asked, what's the problem? I'm like, is it possible for me to clean that switch? I was like, oh my God, this is a terrible OCD. I'm like, no, but I couldn't. My eyes could not shift because it was so like visible that he kept on seeing me, so distracted. So I just got to my bag, got wet wipes, cleaned it. The satisfaction.
Now you focused again on the one-to-one.
Done. So now the switch and the wall, perfectly same color, and I'm good. But when I see something really maybe dirty, I feel like, is there a way we can clean it?
Our viewers and listeners, it's important that we define some of these things. Sharon keeps referring to a one-to-one. I know Sharon from a business space called BNI, Business Network International, and one of the things we do at BNI is one-to-ones. A one-to-one is where one business owner, BNI is a community of business owners, is where one business owner visits another business owner one-to-one, and they get to learn about each other's businesses. this could be considered a one-to-one.
Yeah.
Make sure you log it.
Oh,
Sharon, I'm
yeah.
stuck.
Thank you for saying make sure you log it. Not you,
I
but
know.
me. Okay. Yes, please.
I'm stuck at many places.
Yes.
First was how, our kids' dreams of what they want to be keep changing. And as we are talking about, it changes with what they are into lately, what they are watching, what they are playing. In my head, I was thinking, maybe it's important to be sure or know and approve of what your kids are watching at any one time, because you see it shapes their thinking.
Exactly.
And Proverbs 22:6 came to mind of train a child in which way they should grow,
Yes.
because when they grow they will not depart from it. As in, if we let them do whatever they want, watch whatever they want, it now shapes the things they want to become. Imagine they're watching some violent drug movies and all that, and the druggies, the drug lords are the successful people in community. They'll now want to grow
Yes,
up
exactly.
to be them.
Yeah, I think it's very important that we get to understand at what stage our children are, what they're watching, because I find my son is getting into the teens, so he wants to watch something totally different from the sisters.
Yes.
And yeah, of course, there are those small fights. But then for me, it goes back to what are they watching? So, and then secondly, telling to what they love to do. Those are two
Yes.
different things. He's a soccer lover, but he picks it from the father. But then I need to understand, is it just doing it because that's the time
father.
they are bonding with the
Yes,
father and they're talking
yes.
about their different type of their different type teams, or it's something he's passionate about. Schools have clubs, so you find I found one of my girls just loves a particular violin club because of the friend. But on a good day, if the friend is not there,
She won't
maybe
be keen on it.
Yeah, she won't be keen on it. But the things that they do unconsciously
Yeah.
are the things that matter a lot, because even in their unconsciousness, they still love to do it. Like one of my girls is exactly like me. She she loves to dress up. She loves to look nice. She's so particular. The maid would be complaining about her because she's looking for a particular pink top, while the sister doesn't care. Then the sister is very masculine. She wants to fight with the brother. She's very vocal. She's, just starting with the characters. Now, going to the things, when you talk to them, because of at the stage where they are, you realize that even while we were growing up, there are particular things that we wanted to do, but it was because we were at that particular stage.
Yes.
So as we grew, it kept on changing, because we are learning, we are changing patterns. So we need to grow with our children to find out this time, not fixing it, but if the soccer that he wants now, it's okay, water it. Yeah, children have a lot of energy. Too much energy that they will jump from this to that so that's why when they get to bed, they're done.
They are out.
Yes. And then if the patterns change, let's move with the patterns. Because for me, if someone would have said, oh, she wants to be a lawyer, let's just make that. But what happens to now that point where I wanted to be? So does that mean I'm confused in my career? No, I'm still growing. There is still quite a lot for them to explore. They haven't explored much at the moment. But then in that time, as they feel like this is what they want to do, and it's aligning, and it's something really good, not the villains and all that. But if it is the soccer, if it is violin, and they love music, and, let's water it, so that we understand, is this something that they would really want to pursue after 2 years or 3 years? And then just being in their lives to be able to understand these patterns, because sometimes we may assume that she still wants to be a lawyer, but she left that 4 years ago. But did you notice? Because
that she
moved? So while we are still watering all this, let's still give them time to grow, because they're at that point where by now they're in secondary, and you're like, okay, now are they focused on the sciences of the arts? Yeah. Then after the arts, talk to them. What do you think, or what do you want to do? Yes, there are parents that are going to go like, okay, you may find she wants to act, she wants to go do MDD at campus. That's not something, regardless. She's still going to give you, the LDC papers and put them there, and you'll still find them looking for an opportunity to start acting.
You know, there are careers now, and I made sure I mentioned this in the intro, how
Okay.
the cleaning industry almost did not exist 10, 15 years ago.
True,
But
true.
now I look in our BNI chapter and I can tell like almost half the businesses in the room did not exist 5, 10 years ago. So if we are now going to push all our kids to do the things that we know, then we are really doing them a disservice.
Yes.
And I was telling friends the other day that our parents raised us for a time that they had no clue about.
So are we.
Exactly. Even
Yes.
us, we are doing the
Yes,
same, but
yes.
they did the best they could. Earlier, you mentioned how about the kids growing up,
Yeah,
1, 2, 3-year-olds, and us here thinking there is a phase in everyone's life where you have to make peace with how your space looks like, whether you have OCD or not.
Yes.
There are homes you enter and you can quickly tell there's a baby in this house
Clearly. Yeah.
because the coffee tables are not there or they are on the sides
Yes.
around. The whole
Exactly.
center is empty and
Yeah.
so
The
on and
entire
so
living room
forth.
has toys.
Sharon, we are really out of our time, but there's a
all right.
story. You have grown in this cleaning industry a lot. I know that. And there's a story you told the other day that got my attention. How a member in your chapter saw you posted a picture of yourself holding cleaning equipment, proudly getting your hands dirty. And they told you, no, you have to lose this. Speak into that and why it's important.
Dearly.
What's the story for starters?
One, I think it's at that point where people say you either have to work in your business or out of your business.
On your business.
On your business.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when someone saw that picture and they were like, okay, at this rate, Sharon, you're supposed to.
Do you still have that picture?
Yes, and I still love it. And I'll post it time and time again.
We have to show our viewers that picture.
Yes. Yes. Why? Because I've gone through all the business stages. I don't think I have jumped any business stage. You know, there are those people that are very lucky to jump from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
I'll just give an example for what I know best is that's cleaning. There are people that have come into this industry and boom, after 3 months, they're getting a contract.
Yeah.
That's not for everybody.
No
That's the
way.
truth. That's the truth.
I know.
Yes, because I've had someone that entered me and they told me, I'm very fascinated by you because this is an industry that is really tough at this moment, and the passion that you come with. And yet, for me, I was just an accountant, and it just literally was 3 months into the business, and I got a contract of which I won't go into the details. But they told me vividly, they just signed a contract. He fell into cleaning business. He just didn't even understand what it was, but he was here telling me, I would commend you because there's no cleaning school.
No.
There's none. We are only living on to the internet, what is happening. And yet in the diaspora, it is something totally different.
You're about to set up one, though, from...
Thank you. That's where we're going. Hallelujah. We're going to do it. So while I was going through all these phases, that must have been a phase.
Yeah.
But now for me, reminiscing from where I have come from, it humbles me to where I am. And I cannot forget where I have come from. For someone not to see or ask what my goal is and the vision, look at the bigger picture, and still wants to look at the Sharon who is holding a mop, then that is a person who does not know my story.
Exactly.
And the only thing I could say, please come for a one-to-one. And understand where I have come from and why I respect humble beginnings.
Sharon, there's a very... I'm sorry to cut you short,
all
but
right.
it is very important to grow through the ranks.
Exactly.
So I have told this story before. When we were growing up, our parents used to wake us up 6 a.m. to go and milk the cows.
Exactly.
But you're going there and you're not even milking the cows because they are workers who do that and who do it well and fast. So they don't have time for you to waste their time. So all you do is be up see what they are doing, maybe measure how many liters from what cow, take records and so on. And then one day, my bigger brother, who was adolescent and could speak back to his parents, asked him, said, but Daddy, why are you forcing us to do these things? Are you raising us to be milkmen and herdsmen? And maybe he was gracious enough to respond and say, you see, I'm not raising you to be that. I'm raising you to know, because when you grow, you're going to own your own farms, cows, and things like that. You better know how these things are done so that no one, bluffs you or confuses you or, messes around with your business. So it's important to have that hands-on experience. Like now, you know how many people you need to deploy in someone's home and how long they take there to get it done. No one can come and tell you otherwise.
You need to be able to walk your talk. And I think our parents just wanted us to be involved in the activities at home so that just in case they are not available, they are not there, you know what is supposed to be done. I don't have to be at site to clean.
No.
But because I have built this business from scratch to whatever it is, there is a point where I had to be at every site.
Yep.
Because you're building a relationship, you're selling a service. It's not a product. Where you need to have a long, sustainable relationship with your client. With this kind of service, you're in people's spaces. Nonetheless, they are homes. That's a private space. I've had clients that have called me and said, can they clean my bedroom when you're available? Are you going to stop? Aren't you going to work on such a client because they are personalizing? Give them the comfort that they need with time. Because of the relationship that you're building with them, they'll get to the point where they're like, okay, you still have your supervisor? Okay, let them be the one.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. But now giving your client the personal touch makes them appreciate, because every client is unique. Every home and space is unique. How Solomon deals with his homestead is different from how Sharon deals. You understand? So for us to be able to understand that, coming from a cleaner's perspective, to understanding a client's expectations versus ours, makes you realize that at a particular point, if it is exactly a new client, you need to build that relationship. It helped me with labor. It helped me understanding what the client needs. It helped me because particular clients are particular. They'll tell you, with my master bedroom, please don't touch this, do this. You being there gives them just a comfort. So for me, when someone says you're working in your business, it was at a particular stage. Right now, I have clients that trust. I'll send them a team. I won't even need to supervise. I have 2 supervisors, yes, but I'll be receiving feedback of, okay, I had 3 clients yesterday. We had 3 sites, and you're already getting feedback. You didn't even show up.
It's also very important in your leadership life or journey for your people, your staff, to know that you know what they're doing.
Exactly.
To see you doing it and know that you're skilled at. Yeah.
Because you're not going to preach something that you can't do.
Exactly.
You're telling them, we need to be able to deliver this. What is this? This kind of work that we do is practical. Show them. This machine, please make sure you hold it. When you're actually at site, you're showing them. Go back to the room and say, who cleaned this? What happened? We have failed to do this. No, can you twitch it this way? They get the confidence from you because they know that you know what you're talking about. Even when we're doing the trainings, I used to do the trainings myself, but now the supervisors do the trainings. But I come through once in a while. Presence.
Sharon, finally.
Yes.
3 tips for a young person who looks at you and says, when I grow up, I want to be like her.
Oh, wow. Okay. The 3 tips. 1, as much as people say, passion is underrated, no. There are so many people that are in employment right now.
Yeah.
They have something they're passionate about. Some have what we call hustles on the sides. But because they're not fully involved in their businesses, because they really have this, they're employed and they don't have way too much time, the other is struggling.
Yeah.
But what I can say is, if you have that passion for that one thing, take time to first understand that. Put the passion aside and say, okay, I'm passionate about cleaning. But understanding cleaning before you even get in there is important.
Yes.
People get passionate about these particular things, then they jump into it. And because I was there, I did that. I wouldn't want someone to go through it as well.
Yeah.
While you have this passion, take time to understand the sector. If it is live streaming and media, and Mr. Solomon Tumwesigye inspires you, that's what you want to do. Follow Solomon. Where he hangs out, go. Like, that passion that we have, that we follow those people that would really want to do. There are particular people that I followed every day to understand how do they do. By the time I'm going into systems, you're there. What's their story? How did they start? Because when someone shares their story, you go like, oh, okay, I can do it. I was scared. I'm like, where am I going to start from? But if Sharon started, I can. Now that's you feeding into the passion that you really want.
Yes.
So some people don't want to do the work. They have the passion. They just sit and they think it's going to happen. No.
The shock they meet.
Thank you. And that's what demoralizes them. For you not to be demoralized, please, while you have this passion, make the research. It's important. Understand, how is that market working? How is their system? How are their processes? When I'm to start, what do I do? If you're fortunate enough, find someone who is doing that business. Let them mentor you. That's one passion. Secondly, there's always a first time to everything.
Yeah.
You're not going to start from 15. You're not going to start from 20 and 50. There's always that first time. What does that mean? You have to start. Nonetheless, if it is something new, be the one to invent it. Even if it falls down the road, pick up your pieces and move. Rome was not built in a day. Yeah. But do you have the courage to start? It does not matter.
Courage to start.
I am not going to be that kind of entrepreneur who's going to go like, I started with one broom. No. It started from somewhere where I said, okay, today is another day. Today it has failed. Tomorrow is another day. I can still push, and you push, but you have the zeal to be able to do it. But first things first, you need to start. Where you start from does not matter. If you've started on the wrong foot, go back and fix it. If you started the wrong way, go back and fix it. If you jumped from 0 to 100, you can as well still go back. But you have to start. There's so many people that have business in their briefcases that they have failed to launch. They keep on talking about it. Do you have those friends that go like, I've always wanted to do this. They keep on talking about it. I've always.
And then someone else does it.
Thank you.
And that's my idea.
Thank you. So for me, my question would be like, what happened?
What happened?
And you need people in your lives that are going to push you.
Yeah.
But for how long are they going to push you? The third one, walk your journey.
Yeah.
Solomon has had his journey. Sharon has had her journey. Everyone has their journey. So when you look at people that are in business for the last 20 years and 15, they have probably had a horrible journey than you have. Some people that are in business in 20 years in, they actually look at you and they're like, you're lucky. If I had this, I don't know where I would be. So meaning they actually had a rough start. Their journey was really bad. They went bankrupt and they had to start all over again. They have run 5 businesses. This is the only one that is lucrative that they have done. And, but
which
for you...
ties into your first one.
Yes.
Follow them. Mm-hmm. If you want to be like them, follow them.
Yeah, listen to that story.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, when you listen to that story, you're like, what? They have been through this, and for me, it's just literally nothing. Then that means I can even do better.
Then walk your journey.
Walking, for me, because I have walked my journey, and I was very, very privileged to... BNI phoned me at my point of need. And that's why I call myself the BNI child. Everything that I know in BNI, everything that I know in business is BNI.
From BNI.
One, because of the experienced, credible business entrepreneurs that I met that have helped me go through all these steps in business, gives me that community that has supported me, be it the knowledge. Please note, personal knowledge. Yes. You need to grow your mind to grow your business. Yeah. Being vulnerable to say, Solomon, help me. I don't know how to deal with this. I have this system. It is not working. Then say, there's someone also who deals with labor, who deals with this. It's a service. Let me share their contact. Can I make an appointment for you? You're not going to get it anywhere. And that's growth. Someone telling you, Sharon, you need to twitch this. I think this is not working. Try to do it this way. You're not going to get it anywhere. So for me to have such a platform of credible business entrepreneurs has also helped. Yeah, exactly. So those are the 3 tips I could give to someone who would really want to
be like you when they grow up. Our viewers and
That's
listeners.
not what I wanted to say, but well,
it works.
yeah, it works.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for
Thank you
giving
so
us your
much.
time.
Thank you much.
Good conversations.
Sure was.
You're welcome back here to tell us more stories.
I come back tomorrow.
Our viewers and listeners, Sharon Musiime from Freshly Kleen, amazing lady, very good vibe. In that case, I'll drop contacts of Freshly Kleen down there. She's very passionate about what she does. Reach out to them to clean your offices, homes, home things and any other spaces. Roofs, compounds, pavers. Hey.
Ooh, yes.
Wow. Until the next episode of Business Chronicles, I'll catch you on that one.
Thank you.